Tonight on TV6, we aired a forum featuring Democratic incumbent State Representative Jen Hill and her opponent, Republican Carl Bonak. Both had a chance to outline their plans to improve Upper Michigan if elected to the 109th State House District. Topics included mental health, housing, and energy, something both candidates say they feel passionate about.
I believe that we should wait before we make any more transitions to other forms of energy, all based on costs for hardworking families and businesses here in the Upper Peninsula.
That's why I fought for transparency and insisted that the UP have its own energy study. We are completely separate from the Lower Peninsula in terms of our energy, who provides it, where it comes from. And so I made sure that we had our own deep dive into what makes us work.
When asked about bridging the current political divide, both candidates said they're looking to represent the people no matter their political affiliation.
What I would like to always do is get people together. We need mediation. We need to work together no matter what side of the political fence we're on.
First and foremost, your job as a state legislature is constituent service. So when folks call our offices, sometimes they don't know who the representative is, but you pick up the phone and you take care of that problem, and we work across the aisle to make sure getting through red tape.
Early voting has already begun in Michigan. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. Jerry Tudor, TV6 News, Marquette.
We begin your early news with Decision 2024 coverage. Campaigns are spending more money than ever in the race for the 109th State House District. Republican Carl Bonak is challenging incumbent Democrat Jen Hill for the seat. Statewide, this is seen as a race that could determine who controls the House for the next 2 years. A political consultant tells TV6's Caden Minus what the spending could mean when results come in on November 5th.
The money that's being spent in the 2024 cycle is unlike any other race we've ever seen.
The latest reports from the Michigan Secretary of State show Republican 109th State House candidate Carl Bonak's campaign has spent $57,000 this election cycle. His opponent, incumbent Democrat Jen Hill, has spent triple that at $192,000. Contributions for both candidates also lean towards Hill, with her $404,000 being significantly more than Bonak's $73,000. Mitchell says this is following trends at all government levels.
The Democrats have far more money at the presidential level, at the U.S. Senate level, at the congressional level, and at the state legislative level.
These numbers are significantly higher than what was spent during the 2022 election. That's when Democrats flipped the House. Hill spent a total of $188,000 that campaign. Her Republican opponent, Melody Wagner, spent $33,000. Mitchell says this increase in spending can mean campaigns feel uncertain about how voters are leaning.
What's happened really in Michigan and all over the country is there has been a real realignment. Areas that used to be really Republican have become Democrat, and vice versa.
The 109th State House District has been blue for decades. But as the rest of the UP has become solidly red, Mitchell says the 109th could follow suit.
They're hoping that the only seat that has not gone into the Republican hands in the Upper Peninsula is the 109th District. And the Republicans think Carl Bonak's the guy that might be able to take them there.
The latest campaign finance numbers are from just after the August primary. There's also been significant outside spending in the race since the primary from the House Republican Campaign Committee and the Conservation Voters of Michigan. The next quarterly report from campaigns and PACs is due October 25th. Caden Minus, TV6 News.
Thank you, Caden. If you want to learn more about each candidate in the race, TV6 has featured both in a candidate forum last month. You can find that now on UpperMichiganSource.com and the TV6 Plus app.
Starting off with Decision 2024 coverage, outside money continues to pour into the state house race between Jen Hill and Carl Bonak. New spending reports were filed last Friday. They show since the August primary, Bonak's campaign has been supported by about $540,000 of in-kind contributions. That's mostly from the House Republican Campaign Committee for TV ad buys and production, among other things. It's significantly more than the $310,000 of in-kind contributions donations for the Hill campaign. That's mostly from the Michigan House Democratic Fund. As we told you last week, this is a record cycle for spending in the 109th State House District. It's seen statewide as a seat that could determine which party will control the House for the next 2 years.
We begin tonight with Decision 2024 coverage. The State House race between Jen Hill and Carl Bonak is a historic one because of the campaign spending. And the result of election night could be significant as well.
TV6's Don Ryan gives us a look at the history of the State House District that includes Marquette County.
As Democrats and Republicans fight for control of the Michigan House of Representatives, the 109th District here in Upper Michigan has been identified by both parties as a race that could go either way. Incumbent Democrat Jen Hill is being challenged by Republican Carl Bonak. And based on the heavy schedule of television commercials, the countless flyers in our mailboxes, and the paid advertising on social media, you've probably guessed that each party is spending an enormous amount of money to help lead their candidates to victory. But what does history tell us about the voters in this legislative district? Well, one thing is certain, they don't switch their party loyalty very often. I should point out that it has been identified by various names over the years. But for the sake of this discussion, we're talking about the district in the north central Upper Peninsula that has Marquette County as its anchor. Currently, the district also includes Alger and Baraga counties and part of Dickinson County. The district has been loyal to Democrats running for the State House for nearly 3/4 of a century. That run started with Dominic Jacobetti, a former iron miner and United Steelworkers officer who took office in 1955. Jacobetti would become the longest-serving state legislator in Michigan history, continuing to represent the district until 1994. He died in November of that year, just after being reelected to his 21st term. But control of the district continued in the Democrats' hands, as iron ore miner and local union president Mike Prucy was elected to fill the seat. He served 3 terms and was followed by Democrats Stephen Adamini and Steve Lindbergh, who also both served the maximum 3 terms. Democrats continued to hold the seat when Marquette Mayor John Keevala was selected by voters in 2012 and took office in 2013. Keevala was in his 3rd term when he died by suicide after being arrested for drunk driving. Keevala was replaced by Democrat Sarah Cambenzi, who served the balance of his 3rd term and 2 additional terms. Jen Hill was the next Democrat to win the seat, and she is now competing for her 2nd term. What this all adds up to as the Michigan House District that includes Marquette County and its neighbors have held the seat since 1955. Who was the last Republican to represent this district? His name was Alvin Richards, who among other things was a state tax commissioner and chairman of the County Board of Supervisors. He was first elected in 1946 and served 4 terms before being defeated by Dominic Jacobetti. Will a Democrat continue to represent the district in the next term? Voters will decide on November 5th. Don Ryan, TV6 News.
Now, Michigan's 109th State House District includes Marquette, Alger, Baraga, and a small part of Dickinson counties. Right now, between incumbent Democrat Jen Hill and challenger Republican Carl Bonak, we don't have any official results to report right now. We will be watching those throughout the night, and we have teams at watch parties for both candidates in the 109th State House District. We start with Representative Jen Hill. TV6's Brady Meyer is live at Hill's watch party now at the Landmark Inn in Marquette. Brady, what's the atmosphere like there?
Well, Ben, how about we just have Representative Hill answer that question for us. Representative Hill, what's it like right now? How are you feeling? What's the atmosphere like in Marquette?
Well, I think folks are really glad that we're here. We got to Election Day. Sorry about all the ads. There was a lot. And really excited to see what the will of the people is going to be.
Now, the Carl Bonak campaign is holding a watch party at the Up North Lodge in Gwinn. That's where we find TV6 senior reporter Jerry Tudor. Jerry, how's the atmosphere there?
Hey, Ben, thank you. That's right. We're at the Up North Lodge Event Center where that watch party is taking place. The atmosphere here, pretty good. A lot of cheers as some of the results start to come in. Now, of course, you mentioned the Republican candidate for the 109th seat. That's Carl Bonak. Carl joins me right now. Carl, how do you feel about the campaign that you've ran overall?
You know what? We laid it all out, and, you know, we did the best that we could and let the chips fall where they may.
Now, it's been a long campaign. I'm sure a lot of door knocking, a lot of calling. What are you going to remember most about this campaign, whether you win or lose?
You know, I'm going to remember the people that volunteered and came right on board when I announced in January, and they were with us the whole time. And a lot of these people are here tonight, and I'm so appreciative. They were great. You know, it's almost like I wasn't running. It was like we were running for office.
Presently, the 3 Republicans will be returning. The big question becomes what happens in the 109th with Jen Hill and Carl Bonak, and that's still too close to call, certainly.
Yeah, without Marquette, it's really impossible to call. I can say, you know, from what's being reported, Bonak, compared to Melody Wagner in 2022, has overperformed her performance against Hill in both Baraga County and Alger County. So he's about 2 points better than Melody Wagner against Hill in 2022. I think that then begs the question, you know, Hill won by 6 points against Wagner. How close does that make the race if Marquette County stays the same?
And we'll have to watch and see how that happens. Thanks for being with me tonight.
Thank you, Don.
That district's race is coming down to the wire tonight with Bonak and Democratic incumbent Representative Jen Hill are in a deadlock. That's what we're going to listen to right now. Let's hold on.
What a night, and what a race. Thank you so much. You know, again, I want to thank everyone who helped, and you know what? I feel like it was all of us that won this race, because from the very beginning you were with us, and I can tell you, and I pledge to you that I am going to keep the peninsula first, and that's the key. You know, that's the reason why I ran. We had some good representatives on the other side of the fence that worked with the other state representatives. That's always been the tradition, but it didn't happen this time, and that's why I ran. And I'm so glad that you fully supported me, and I am going to, and I pledge to you that I will not change, that I will keep the peninsula in mind always with my vote.
In the 109th State House District, Republican Carl Bonak defeated Democrat incumbent Jen Hill. Bonak picked up 51% of the vote. Hill will leave Lansing at the end of the year after only serving 1 term. And after years of broadcasting, the former TV meteorologist is preparing to serve as the state representative for the 109th State House District.
TV6's Tristan Kendrick brings us new reaction from both candidates after the election.
The very beginning, you were with
Republican Carl Bonak is now the new 109th State House District Representative-elect. After his watch party last night in Gwynn, Bonak said he's excited to get to work.
For everyone, I am here to listen, I'm here to learn, and I'm here to serve and to put the Upper Peninsula first. That was my objective in the first place.
This is the first time Marquette County will be represented by a Republican in the State House since 1955. As a first-time candidate, Bonak plans to lean on the support of veteran UP Republicans like Ed McBroom during his political journey. Bonak also says once in office, one of the first things he plans to do is make adjustments to the energy legislation that passed last year. He says the law would cause the UP to be covered in wind turbines and solar panels.
It's unreliable, intermittent, weather-dependent energy, and it's something that hopefully we can get to the point, if we get a House majority, that we can amend some of these rules or maybe repeal some of the legislation.
In a statement to TV6, Jen Hill conceded the race. While the election results didn't turn out as we had hoped, I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done together during my time as your representative. From advocating for better infrastructure and environmental projections to standing up for workers and women's rights and access to health care, we made real progress for the Central Upper Peninsula. I want to thank everyone who supported this campaign and worked alongside me. Serving as your state representative has been an honor, and I will continue to advocate for our community and the values we share. Our work here isn't finished. Bonac says he wants to thank everyone who voted for him. Tristan Kendrick, TV6 News.